Today, we're going to be talking about what Grand Theft Auto 6's map is going to look like if indeed we're going to see portions of the game cut and being packaged into DLCs that are set to release later on. So we actually talked about this initial report a couple of weeks ago coming from Rockstar Games insider Tez Funds 2. In this report, he talked about how the not set in stone and always changing deadline for Grand Theft Auto 6 is holiday 2024, but it could slip into 2025 as well. This is accompanied by many of reasons, including a return to the office policy and reverting back to pre-pandemic days. And insider Tez Funds 2 said that losing talent due to this could lead to more delays. And because management does not want to delay the game any further into holiday 2025 or 2026, that cutting portions of the game to package into DLCs to release later on may be sustainable rather than delaying further. And I think there's three ways in which we could see this actually happen. The first way I could see this happening is a free expansion. Sort of think of it like Grand Theft Auto Vice City and Grand Theft Auto 4. So in those maps, you only had access to a portion of the map at the very beginning. And what Rockstar did is they used the various settings they were in to kind of say, okay, this is why we can't go to that part of the world. I think in Vice City, it was hurricanes. I think in Grand Theft Auto 4, it might have been terrorists or something like that prevented you from going to some part of the city. And then as you completed parts of the story, you were able to access and unlock those parts of the world. I think it was the same way in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas as well. In the very beginning, you were landlocked in Los Santos, but then as the game progressed, you could go to other parts of the world like San Fierro and Las Venturas. So that's the way it could work without the story element. You might reach a certain point of the game and then things will simply just not continue. You'll have to wait for Rockstar to put out an update or give us access to the rest of the world, which is certainly a possibility. Now, that would be kind of interesting, having a Grand Theft Auto game ship where we don't necessarily have an ending, or there's a big chunk of the game that is yet still to be offered to us. But that is one way that Rockstar could prevent the game from being delayed altogether. The second way is we see this in a paid fashion, where you reach a certain part of the story and then you have to pay a certain amount of money to unlock the rest of it. Now, this is something we particularly saw in Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto 4. In Red Dead Redemption, we got the story of Undead Nightmare, which was a massive expansion and filled in a lot of the gaps, and you feel like that could have started with the initial story, but Rockstar decided to package it as a DLC. And then we saw in Grand Theft Auto 4 how Rockstar did with the Ballad of Gay Tony and the Lost and the Damned. That really could have been a major part of the main story, as all the characters are really interweaved, whether it be Johnny Klebitz, Nico Bellic, Luis Lopez. You all actually run into these characters during the main part of the story. So that's the second way Rockstar could do it, a sort of paid DLC. Now, they haven't done this in a while. In fact, we didn't even see it in Grand Theft Auto 5. The only thing we saw in Grand Theft Auto 5 is all of those ideas being scrapped altogether. Rockstar's expansions that they had planned for Grand Theft Auto single player were then transformed in some way, shape, or form to Grand Theft Auto Online. I mean, think about all the updates we've gotten, whether it be the casino or whether it be the Doomsday Heist. All of those were supposed to be single-player expansions that Rockstar never got around to, or their plans had to change entirely because of the success of Grand Theft Auto Online. And we know that GTA 6 is going to have a multiplayer in some way, shape, or form. Very likely it's going to be a 2.0 version of what we see now in Grand Theft Auto Online. And so because of that, this time around, multiplayer success is not going to be a surprise to Rockstar. So they're going to have to come up with big-time expansions and big updates to the game. So we know that some content that Rockstar might not be able to slip into Grand Theft Auto 6 due to time constraints or delays could very easily make their way into multiplayer. And we also know that something like this is very likely to happen because of the new culture at Rockstar. There's obviously been a lot of turnover over the last couple of years, and we've talked about that more recently with the release of Everywhere's latest trailer, The Mind's Eye, and that teaser. So we've seen that with Leslie Benzies' new company. Dan Hauser actually left Rockstar Games. As you guys know, a couple of years ago, Rockstar's co-founder, Dan Hauser, actually left, and his recent ventures have been collaborating with a bunch of new NFT games, which isn't really having the best of responses. I think anyone involving themselves in an NFT style game, that's obviously incredibly risky. So that's what Dan Hauser is doing. And we just know in general that after a lot of controversy surrounding the way Rockstar got Red Dead Redemption 2 out, which required a lot of hours, a lot of manpower, a lot of crunch, they've had to change the way they actually operate and the way they go about doing things, which means they can't just treat their artists and developers and all the employees like they've got this endless battery supply and they can just punch things out left and right. They have to be a lot more careful on how they're developing and building these titles. So honestly, don't be surprised if when we get the Grand Theft Auto 6 map and we get our version in-game, or even before the game comes out and Rockstar reveals to us that some portions aren't going to be available on day one, expect it to look something like this, or a handful of the examples I'm going to show you guys right now. The first two I'm actually showing you guys right here, I actually just found by searching Grand Theft Auto 6 on social media, and then the third one is the one you see in the thumbnail that I ended up creating there, just by taking a fan concept map, cutting out one of the cities, and then just sort of putting together this like red buy now. I'm sure it wouldn't look exactly like that, but it gives you a pretty good idea where you might hover over an area and it tells you you've either got to wait for this to come out, or in order for it to come out and be in your game, you're going to have to pay a pretty penny for it. Or something else we didn't even talk about, kind of a fourth option that I literally just thought of right off the bat, is maybe it could be reserved for GTA Plus members. Oh boy, I don't know if that would go over well, but that's certainly a possibility that Rockstar could throw out there, considering how much GTA Plus stuff they're doing right now in Grand Theft Auto Online. But that's where I'm going to end the discussion, and hopefully I can hear from you guys in those comments down below. Let me know what you think of this. How do you think the GTA 6 map is going to work if this report is true, and if Grand Theft Auto 6 will have DLC expansions, whether it be paid or free? Let me know what you think in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.